There are 5 things we've got to change, and there are 4 ways of doing it. The things we've got to change is food, energy, housing, transport and money. And the way we're going to change it is through consumer boycotts, campaigning, NVDA and voting. Do we buy food that has high air miles, sold in plastic, comes from the other side of the world, or do we buy stuff from the local smallholder, the local veg box scheme? It's really important because where we put our money each month supports a very different type of economy. If you, like 85% of the country, go to supermarkets, you're supporting multinational food chains with long air miles, encased in plastic. If you get a veg box delivery from the local farm, there's no plastic involved. It's supporting small-scale local farmers. You can also grow your own food, but let's face it, it's a skill that not many of us have now. Second World War, somebody could grow enough food and allotment to feed their family, but those are skills that we need to re-find and pretty urgently, because everybody can grow something. We live in a cold climate, everybody needs energy. But where do we get it from? Do we get it from oil and gas companies, or do we get it from renewable power? It's really important because, again, that's our vote every single month. Are we pumping money into a Babylonian oil and gas company, or are we supporting renewable energy companies? It's really key, it's really simple. They're all about the same price. It takes 15 minutes to change your supplier. To save energy, we've got to have houses that are properly insulated. All new houses should be to passive house standard, i.e. no net energy use. But it's even more important that the 20 million houses that are already built in this country, that we get them to efficient standards. Pretty much now everybody's got double glazing, but there's a lot of old houses that haven't, and they are generally owned by wealthier people. They've really got to spend the money to get their houses better insulated. That means less cost on the budget and less carbon emissions, and that's what we're after. It may be cheaper to buy a new diesel car or a second-hand diesel car than an electric car, but once you've got an electric or a hybrid, your running costs are so low. Bicycles, public transport, these have a far lesser carbon footprint. And flying, I would just say, is it ethically or morally correct to fly at the moment? I really don't think it is. We have a carbon budget to stop us going over 1.5 degrees, and if you fly, you're just messing up the budget. In a country where we are divorced from the land, we all need money. Where do we put our money? Do we put it in a bank that supports the oil and gas fossil fuel industries, or do we put it in a green ethical bank? And now Triodos Bank have a current account where you can save money, and it only supports good green things. That's the 5 things we've got to change. There's 4 ways to do it. First one is really simple. How do we vote each month with our spending money? Do we support green companies, or do we support Babylonian companies? Consumer boycotts, really important. Second thing is campaigning. We've got to get involved at this stage. You've got to get involved with your local Green Party, XR Group, FOE, Greenpeace, clearing public footpaths, whatever it is. We've all got to spend those few extra hours we have a day a week putting back into the community. It's social capital. Third thing is non-violent direct action. As we can see, we're at Extinction Rebellion. It works. It changes people's minds. Not only people who come here, and for people who come here, they see temporary autonomous zones, they see peace and love and friendliness. It changes people, but it also changes public opinion, and it changes governments. And I'm a district councillor in Mendip. We passed a climate and ecological emergency motion, and after Extinction Rebellion, our votes, we went from 3 Green councillors to 10. So, non-violent direct action works. It worries big corporations. It changes politicians' minds because it changes public opinion. And the last thing is voting. It's crazy now to vote for a politician who doesn't understand the effects of climate change. So although we don't get a vote very often, every couple of years, local, district, county, national, European elections, It's really important that we vote for people to understand climate change. We're not going to get anywhere with the government and our elected politicians who are still following those tired old lines of a growth economy. It doesn't work now, it's non-relevant. These are 5 basic things we can do, and frankly it's hypocritical of us to demand from the government to do this if we're not doing it ourselves. But we can't wait for all individuals to make the change, so this is why we've got the 3 demands to the government to change the regulations, change the parameters in which we work. But hopefully if we can do that, if we can make the individual changes, we've got a chance.